Well, Coach, as you know, being over in Orlando, still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Check three.
They run with Howard. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. And he's going to wind up getting this all the way down to the Buccaneers 13. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Jackson now. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Now, keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first-quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in there, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Ramirez. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I got you.
From the gun, Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Jameis to throw it. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ramirez. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Ready. You ready. 59. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Come back. Let's make these babies cry.
Jameis now on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Used to have a coach who used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
I got you. Follow. Silver.
They'll throw again. Winston got his man complete over the middle. That's Ramirez. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 41-yard line.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Flip it. Check 59. Mike is 59.
Jameis again. A very good gain on 1st down. 9 yards on the dump-off. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Hey, stop. Green, triple T. Trump. Here we go.
On 2nd and goal, Winston, the quick slant caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal.
Guys, out time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Winston now. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And Gay knocks this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeffrey Simmons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Try the right side with Howard. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case. When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
3 down, 3 down.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 24-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Here's Winston. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Good work, boys. Let's go, let's go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. On 1st and 10, Winston. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston, they'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Jameis now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
59's Mike, 59's Mike. Check, 59. Rip right, rip right. Let him go.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Flip it, flip it, flip it. Mike, check, 59.
Another try after the first down sack. Winston. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Winston. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. They go play action. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fielded just inside the 30. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Winston. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. To throw is Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And an alley to run. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 2nd and 10. Jackson, they'll set up the screen to Howard. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. This time, Jackson will throw it. Flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Tucker's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it with Bell. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 39 yards there, a big one. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Here's Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Winston. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
At the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson now off the bootleg. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing is Jackson. Being chased out left. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
On the set. 45. Mike, 45. Hey, man. Watch the booth. Watch the booth.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Jeffrey Simmons make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On third down, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Michael Gallup, his first touchdown on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Tucker with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Black 25. Let's go, team. Go flip it. It's going to be a long day. 48 to Mike.
First down, Winston. And he'll find Hall. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Ravens 30-yard line.
5 on the 50. Let's go.
Play action now. Winston. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They go with Howard again. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. It's a big-time run by Jordan Howard, 62 yards.
First down, Baltimore.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
14-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Powering his way forward. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Try to punch it in with Howard. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it.
They'll try again with Howard. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. The first down throw for Winston. Now a desperation throw deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 47 yards. Jameis now on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Game in hand. The offense takes the knee. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Baltimore, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.